Well, Nikki Haley appeared on Fox News yesterday, and I have a couple moments for you from this interview. The first is again on the topic of Donald Trump. She just will not clearly identify what distinguishes her from Trump, what makes her a better candidate than Trump. And we'll talk about how absurd everything that she says in here is. But first, take a look.
Clearly, you think you're a better option than he is, or you wouldn't have gotten into the race. So where do you two differ?
To be clear, in case you're just now coming across my channel, everyone's a better candidate than Donald Trump. This is not me saying that there's not reason. There's plenty of reasons she could provide, but she just doesn't stand for anything, and she's trying to play this weird, I'm the candidate for everyone in the Republican Party game, and it's not going to work.
I don't focus on President Trump, and it's amazing that the media wants to talk about that so much.
But you will have to get through the GOP primary. You will have to focus on him and Governor DeSantis or anybody else who gets in. To get to President Trump, you will have to get through that field.
My announcement was to a few thousand people in South Carolina. I just had packed rooms in New Hampshire. Not one person asked me about President Trump. Everybody wanted to talk about Biden. Everybody wanted to talk about the problems facing American families. I am focused on Joe Biden. He's the one that's the president. You know, I will tell you, I think Americans need to have options. I think they need a new generation. I think we need new energy going in. I think we need to leave the status quo of the past and start looking ahead. And that's what I'm going to do. And as much as people want to talk about other opponents, there will be more. Many of them are my friends. My focus is on American families, how they're struggling, and what we're going to do to make sure that we get this country back.
All right, one of those things.
So she keeps trying to do this thing where she goes, I'm focused on Joe Biden, not Trump. But you're running in the Republican primary. You have to get the Republican nomination before you can even face off against Biden. And the speculation I've heard a good bit now is the reason why she's doing this is so that she makes nice with all of the constituencies within the GOP, but then is more prominent so that she might get picked as a vice presidential candidate whenever Trump or DeSantis wins. But Trump doesn't hold any punches within primaries like this. And so I don't see him allowing the situation to be one where Nikki Haley can then come out and be like, I'm supportive of Trump if Trump got the nomination, because his attacks are going to become so brutal that would make absolutely no sense down the line. And so running this campaign of I'm just here to defeat Biden when you're quite literally going to have to defeat other candidates before you get to Biden is so incoherent and so unserious. As we've seen a lot here from Nikki Haley. Next moment from this interview, her best answer for why she should be the Republican nominee is, because why not? Because why not me?
Okay, so I want to put up something from the Wall Street Journal this week. They said you had a great day, your great rollout day, but they said you have to provide a rationale for your candidacy that you haven't done yet. They said you've got to answer this question about why you versus anybody else in the GOP field. You know, they're talking about the fact that you say, you know, America first, America should be powerful. Those are things that any GOP candidate is going to say. So why you?
Why not me? You know, I am the wife of a combat veteran. I'm a mother of two children, one who's getting married, and I see how hard it is for her to look at buying a home. One that's in college, and I see what he's dealing with woke education. You know, I'm the daughter of immigrant parents who are upset by what's happening at the border. I don't want to wait for someone else to fix this. I want to make sure we get in there and fix this. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an accountant. I've never worked in D.C., and I think it's time that we start putting a fire under what's happening in Congress. I think we need term limits. I think we need mental competency tests for people over the age of 75, and I think we need far more transparency than we're seeing today. And what I do strongly believe is the American people need options. I don't think you have to be 80 years old to be in Washington, D.C., and I think it's time for us to start getting aggressive, getting back to what it means to end socialism in this country and end the defeatism that has taken over us the past few years.
None of that means anything. What are you talking about? That is the most, as I've said before, the most I'm running to, you know, make sure America is the strength of dignity within the power of our time. Just, it's words with absolutely no meaning. Oh, it kills me. Okay, so number one, in her announcement speech, she said, I don't play identity politics. Then someone asks her, why do you think you should be the Republican nominee? And she just lists off all of her identity characteristics, which, as I've said before, I think it's valuable to know the unique experience based on your unique identity. That does play a role in the policy positions and the political views that you have. All of that matters. But that's all she's using. And her age. Oh, I'm of a younger generation. Cool. Now, what are you going to do as someone who's younger within the White House? And I really think when you're someone who doesn't stand for anything, it's really hard to explain what you stand for, because she's just someone who's fit the mold of whatever she needs to, as I've said, to get to where she wants to go. So when it's time to explain what makes you unique, what are you going to fight for? It's woke education, and I'm a new generation, and we need to be the pride of strength. So really, aggravating. I would rather someone say views that I disagree with than say absolutely nothing at all and answer the question of why not me. Why not me is the exact answer that tells me why not you. Oh, Nikki. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.